Hello everyone, and welcome to this month's episode of What's for Dinner. Today I'm breaking up the crock pot and making some slow cooker carnitas. Let's get cooking. Now, some of you watching may know that I love crock pot recipes because all you need to do is put everything into the crock pot, turn it on, and once it's done, you pretty much have your meal. There is a little bit more to this once the crock pot portion is finished, but it's really a simple recipe. I will also be using a new crock pot that Erin and I received as a wedding gift. This one I believe is 6.5 quarts. The other one, the one that I usually use, is about 4.5 quarts. So I thought, why not break in a brand new kitchen appliance on the show here? So the first thing I'm going to do is I've cubed up about a 3.5 pound pork butt into some pretty large chunks. We're just going to go ahead and stick this into the crock pot like this. And then everything else we need for it is right over here. We're going to start with 2 teaspoons of salt. So there's 1, and there's 2. Good. And then a teaspoon of pepper. And then a tablespoon of oregano. Sprinkle that in. And then a tablespoon of cumin. That looks pretty good. Okay. Then we're going to throw in 8 cloves of garlic. These are whole halves of garlic. Whole halves of garlic. These are whole cloves of garlic. Just going to put those in. And then I have half of a white onion. You can put in a full, smaller sized onion, but just chunks like this go in. You can break them up when you put them in there. Okay, that's good. Now the recipe also says to put in 3 bay leaves. I think the bay leaf is the most pointless thing to put in any sort of recipe, so I'm leaving them out. The next thing we're going to do is squeeze 1 lime into this. Then we're going to add in 1 orange, and we're going to throw in the whole orange as well once we squeeze the juice out of it. That looks pretty good. All right, we'll put those in there. Now I'm going to get some tongs. We're just going to kind of zhuzh everything around a little bit. Now, as with any crock pot recipe, the typical way of cooking meat like this is on high for 4 hours or on low for 8 hours. Given that I rarely have time to cook something for 8 hours, we're going to do this on high for 4 hours. Okay, and the lid is on. Plug this in. Okay, now let's see here. On 4 hours high, low, warm, high. No, 4 hours, then do I just press on again? No, that's off. How do I set this? Okay, high for 4 hours. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. I haven't used this crock pot yet, so I'm hoping that it's working well. So we will be back, or I should say I will be back in about 4 hours to do the last part of this. And here we are 4 hours later. The meat is done and it looks delicious and it smells really good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these 2 forks and I'm going to shred this into smaller bits, and then I'm going to broil it for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to make these into basically like burritos or tacos. So as I'm doing this, there's some rice cooking on the stove, and then these are going to go in the broiler again for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now, I think many of you know I've never done anything with broiling before, but given that this oven is a little bit newer than the oven in my old apartment, I'm going to give it a try. Once I shred this, I'm going to take some of the juices that are left over from the crock pot back there, and I'm just going to pour about a ladle full of the juices on here before I put this in the broiler. All right, now we're going to come over here. I'm going to grab a ladle Put these here. Get some of the juices out here. Truck this over. Just pour some of it on top. Get some more. Get a little more. Let me see if I can figure out this broiler here. So, if I hit broil, we're gonna do low, and then start. Okay. All right, I'm gonna say that the broiler is ready. I just checked it and it's pretty warm in there. So we're gonna go ahead and stick this in for about 5 to 10 minutes. And when we come back, we'll be ready to plate them up and I'll try them for you. Okay, so the pork has been in the oven broiling for just under 10 minutes and it just started sizzling. I'm gonna go ahead and take it out in about 1 minute. The rice is just about done. I took it off the heat about 2 minutes ago. You have to leave it off the heat for about 5 minutes, still covered, and then you have to take the lid off and then fluff it up. And the rice is gonna be the base for our taco burrito kind of thing. I also have some black beans and some pico de gallo and some sour cream. All right, the rice is done, and I believe the pork is done as well. I'm gonna go ahead and take it out. Nice little char on top of it. All right, now I guess what we need to do is essentially build our burrito, taco, whatever. So I'm gonna take some rice. Looks good. Okay, take some black beans. We'll take some of our pork. Let's take some pieces over on the end here. Good. Some pico on top. And then a little sour cream as well. Oh, I didn't want that much, but okay. You get a knife and spread that out. Too centrally located on that one end. Now the shell's too small to wrap it up, so I guess I'm going to have to hold it like this. That looks pretty good, don't you think? All right, this looks fantastic. All right, let's make sure I can get a little bit of everything in one bite. So I'm going to flip it over and do this end. Not a lot of sour cream, but it looks good. Let's try it. Mmm. Mmm. Wow, that's so good. Oh my goodness. Mmm. I'm making a mess. That is delicious. I'm gonna have this done in no time. Thank you all for watching this episode of What's for Dinner. If you have any recipes you would like me to make on camera, leave them below in comments and I'll check them out. You can also fill out the Google form, which is found in the description of this video. Thank you all again for watching. I'm so impressed with this one. I think this is the best one that I've made this season so far. Take care, God bless. I'll see you all next time. This is phenomenal. Oops.